apparatus. Testing this thing, test this microphone out and stuff as I get ready to prepare the table, so to speak, because it's a lot of stuff that it's a lot of things and stuff being said out here in these trucking streets, and so I got to get ready to prepare the table. Got to get ready to prepare the table and stuff because at this table I'm gonna have some folks sit down at this table and stuff, and get their, get their grievances off their, get their grievances off their chest since um, they want to talk about men, men being men and stuff like that, and being sensitive, and so on and so forth. So you want to have a dialogue and stuff. That's fine. We could definitely have a dialogue. That's why I'm gonna prepare a table, and there's a couple people and stuff that I want to be at that table because we're gonna have this conversation. Because I've been sitting back long enough, and I've been noticing. I thought maybe it was something that was gonna kind of correct itself, right? But I see it's not really correcting itself. It's kind of getting bad, and I'm saying, it can get it can go wherever it wants to go. It can go wherever it wants to go and stuff. I just want to make sure that when you're going there and stuff, you understand where you're going is that you have a understanding about what it is that you're talking about, because a lot of people like to babble. They like to babble and stuff and think that what they're saying is on something intelligent, and they're not. And so, I mean, everyone has the capabilities of looking up Google and seeing, the words that they talk about, the words that they explain, that they have the proper definition of it, right? So when they present their dissertation, they're not saying it in a way to where it causes confusion, so to speak. Because I believe many of them know what they're talking about. They just um, they know what they're talking about, but see, they want to beat around the bush, even though this particular individual said that he didn't want to beat around the bush. So we're going to give him again the opportunity to go up here and speak his piece. You know. So hey, I've been up here 3 minutes. Hey, my microphone sound okay? My sounds good. Mr. Williams, what's going on with you? Trace and Andrew, what's going on with you, bro? My okay, my volume good. Okay, all right. So am I'm speaking through the microphone and stuff? I'm hoping that's what it is. Um, sounds good. Okay, all right. Uh, you know, I'm I'm pretty sure it. Y'all heard this thing about y'all heard this thing about Ryan Garcia, right? The stuff that Ryan Garcia said, and I try not to bring the entertainment stuff into the trucking stuff, and I say, it segues it segues into it segue actually into trucking, and so this this video came up. This guy by Cholo Trucker, he did a 25-minute dissertation about his video saying racism isn't illegal. Okay, racism isn't illegal, and so I tried to sit through it as long as I could, but it's just I give I I try to give people the benefit of the doubt that okay, if you're going to get up here and you're going to talk about things that you understand what you're talking about. And so again, it was supposed to be about racism isn't illegal, and so he gave how he felt about it, but he didn't give a definition of racism. He didn't give that definition about racism, right? And so it's always, and so make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. It's that um he wanted to tiptoe around it, which is okay. You can tiptoe around it, but again, know what you're talking about when you use that word racism, right? Know what you're talking about when you use that word racism, because see, if racism was about if racism was about some person just getting up here and spewing the N-word, or just having a disagreement, or whatnot, if it was just words, right? That'd be one thing. If it was just words, if it was anything that Cholo the trucker was talking about, it would be what it is and stuff. But you know what it wouldn't be? It wouldn't be racism. You see, and so a lot of times is that they try to pull us into these arguments about the fact that, well, okay, well, we're just, we're a society that's soft, right? We're a society that's soft, and we're a society that don't talk about, okay, well, we can't really come together and talk as men about certain issues or whatnot and stuff. And that's not the case. I mean, people are fully aware about what they say and what they do, what their actions are and stuff. Again, um, but it's always centered around the black community. It's always centered around the black community. Nobody else has this problem or this issue. It's always, when it comes to the black community, we should just sit down and shut up. Just people just go say whatever you want to and stuff like that. But then when you called out for what you are, now all of a sudden you saying that you're not that. You wanna back it back. You wanna dial it back and stuff and say, no, that ain't what it is. I'm not a racist. I'm not a racist. I mean, I'm just over here speaking my mind, right? And then when we started doing some digging and stuff like that, and we see, okay, oh, you was involved in some other stuff. You was involved in some other things and stuff. So it wasn't just talk, right? It wasn't just talk and stuff. Not you, I mean, heck, you can believe whatever you want to believe and stuff like that. It's just, if you are who you say you are and you believe what you believe, why are you always over here in our spaces? Why are you over here in our spaces, paying attention to what we doing and stuff like that? I mean, if it's about, racism is about superiority. So why was the superior person looks to the so-called inferior person and see what we're doing, seeing what we're talking about? You're superior, remember? You got high IQs, you got greater institutions of learning. You work hard, right? You work hard, you don't ask for handouts. Your institutions are built from the ground up and stuff like that, and you're always hardworking individuals. So why are the hardworking individuals coming over here to other individuals who are trying to uh, uh, get a piece for themselves? Why is that such a big deal? Why are you so offended by the fact that you see people come together and doing things constructively, right? Doing things constructively. This is where we find most of you, if not all of you, racists over here doing things like that. Okay, well, our representation is people like Sexy Red and Sukiana. You want to throw that type of representation out there and stuff and put that on us and say, oh, well, you see the rap community, all you gangsters out there and stuff, you talk about, the black on black crime and that sort of thing there and stuff. You always use those poor representations of black people collectively. They never talk about our scientists, doctors, engineers, architects. They never talk about our teachers, professors. They never talk about the institutions of higher learning. So, the complete and total representation of the black community, of black people here in America, are always centered around rappers, entertainers, and athletes. These are the representations of all things and stuff, right? And so, you look to them and say, okay, well, yeah, all right. This is what Kevin Hart said, or what Snoop Dogg said, or what some athlete said, or whatever. But when we're talking about business, this is who you can go get. Herschel, you can go get your Herschel Walkers and stuff like that. You know, or if you do grab a doctor, if you do grab a scientist and stuff like that, get Neil deGrasse Tyson. maybe a Neil deGrasse Tyson or a Mark Lamont Hill. It's always the same. It's always the same individuals up here who you can count on to get up here to use these same so-called narratives to speak about black people collectively. But our representation is always centered around those individuals there and stuff. But you can't name no others. You can't name no others and stuff. And so, and okay, why don't you do something about that? I always have. But it seems like, these representations of negativity and stuff always seems to have large amounts of money and stuff that's backing that comes from institutions and organizations that are not founded in black communities. So I'm saying, I mean, when a person over here again is throwing large amounts of money into something, that gives them the resources and the ability to acquire resources that some people just don't have. And so, these same individuals again are in these political positions, right? They're in political positions blocking any and all content and stuff that's based upon the productivity of black people. They the ones that blocking the licensings, and they're blocking the licenses and the contracts, you know, that will benefit and help black people collectively. You go inside these economical institutions and you block, you doesn't matter how good your credit is. You got a 700 credit score, 800 credit. You got a perfect credit score and stuff, and yet you're still being denied and blocked and stuff like that. And so, where you have to go in trucking and you have to go get this particular model truck where you're paying 40% you're paying 46% interest, 49% interest. And the same individual and stuff that the credit probably isn't so great or whatever can go right over here into Peterbilt and Kenworth and can go get them the best model truck that they can find. So when we're centered around constructiveness, right? When we're centered around constructiveness, they can never name off the people, the institutions that are centered around complete and total constructiveness. That don't advocate violence, that don't advocate that doesn't advocate any of these so-called things that's supposed to be the representation of black people, right? They're simply centered and they're simply centered and standing on business 100% of the time. They can't never seem to find those individuals or those institutions or these groups of people, which are everywhere, by the way, and stuff, even up here on the internet. Now it's just like I said before, is that, when one gets up here and again speaks on constructiveness, when they're speaking on business, the algorithms don't seem to uh, uh, they don't seem to get people and stuff to go and center themselves and stuff around these individuals again that are standing on business, these groups that are standing on business. But yet, if I can get up here and use all types of profanities and N words and talk about that I have hate for this individual, I'm about to pull some kind of, I'm about to do something, counterproductive, or go inside a group, go to some group of people and begin to act up or whatever and stuff, then I can get millions of views. The same people that watch me watch them, but they say that, well, the person that's most dangerous is the one that's most dangerous, and it's always been that way. The one that's most dangerous is the ones that are out here pushing the message to black people specifically to move in a way and stuff where you are constructive, where you can articulate your words to a point, and not only articulate the words and stuff, but I mean also diversify your vocabulary to a way to where you're not centered around using these same words over and over again. One who is cultured and diverse, one who is centered around, one who has an understanding about things that go on with oneself and things that go on in the world. Not one who goes out to attack, These certain individuals or certain dynamics of people. I mean, oh well, if I get up here and start talking about black women, if I talk about my women and say, well, how much, 10 reasons why you shouldn't date a black woman, why you shouldn't marry a black woman, see, I get plenty of views and stuff on that. Oh man, the algorithms would just, uh, it would just put my stuff out there. I mean, to a grand scale. Okay, well, here go another black man putting down his women and stuff like that because of their disagreements or whatever. Oh well, black women are ratchet. The black women are ratchet. Look at them, and they're going out here and stuff for these raggedy black women, and and every other word and stuff. I'm calling them the B word and stuff like that, and at the same time edifying other women of the world, edifying these other women of the world and stuff, right? When no woman in this world and stuff has any kind of example that's based upon these constructive relationships and stuff that people are supposed to be looking for. In fact, I would surmise that when you're looking at the origin of those and stuff who sit there, they have a dislike and disdain for the modern black woman and stuff today, that you can see the origins of it came from other places. But getting back to this guy Cholo Trucker that wants to talk about racism isn't illegal. Racism isn't illegal and stuff. What I find oftentimes and stuff is that I'm gonna go and I gotta talk about the immigrant community for a minute. I gotta talk about I gotta talk about you people who sit there and who immigrate to this country. And it seems like when you immigrate here to the country, when you come here to America, you see the centeredness of counterproductiveness is around black people. Okay, well, I came here and I just had a couple pennies and stuff in my pocket and stuff, and look at me, I was able to get a business and I was able to send my children to college because I work hard. I didn't ask for handouts. uh, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps and stuff. And so these are the narratives and stuff that those who immigrate here to this country use there and stuff, right? And so again, when we do an analysis, it seems that the those who immigrate here are the ones who are trying to defend the racism the most. They defend it to such a degree to where it say, oh well, it's non-existent. I don't know anything about it and stuff. So when why are people so sensitive and stuff about it? Okay, all right, well, if we're so sensitive about it and stuff, then I mean, I go back into, and you're over here defending it, right? And saying it's not illegal and stuff to a point to where you say it's not even really a problem. It is and always have been the reason why you're able to immigrate here to this country is because of black people, the blacks. That's right, the blacks. The same people that you have disdain for, the same people that when we go into your countries and we start to see that, well, you practice anti-blackness there. This is a country where you come from and stuff, something that's not often talked about, but this unification, so to speak, and stuff of this black and brown alliance is not a worldly alliance. It's not an American alliance. It's a black and brown alliance. Because what we're looking at and stuff, we're looking at your homeland and stuff and the things that you face as a people there. And you say that you want to come to America because you want a better quality of life. Just to get here to this country, and now we're bombarded by the fact that, well, black people here in America, we don't have culture, we don't have traditions, we're cut away and stuff, and we're always practicing these things of counterproductiveness. When I say again is that when we're looking over here, the country where you come from, right, that you come here to America and you want to practice, you want to not only practice racism, but you want to defend it. Which I'm saying it doesn't make any sense to me, because if you're talking about racism, it should start at home, right? It should start at home and stuff. And so, I mean, if it's racism, again, how come things couldn't get on and popping and stuff where you're over there in the country of your origin where they don't have any kind of multiculturalism at all? Or if there is multiculturalism, it's a very, very small, minute number, right? So you're amongst your people where your culture is strong, your traditions are strong, your family ties and stuff are strong, and yet you can't get anything on and popping there in the country of your own, the land of your own, amongst your own people. It takes you have to get away from your country and stuff. In most cases, you have to flee in such a way and stuff where your life is in danger. You're putting life on the line and stuff to come here to America, where America has the biggest number of multiculturalism and stuff, and it is here in America where you want to be racist. This is where you want to practice your racism at. I don't understand it. Oh, well, racism isn't illegal. And this right here in this melting pot of the world is where you want to practice your racism. You didn't want to do it in the land where you came from because you say that you was void of opportunity. That it was a lower quality of life and stuff. People couldn't get along over there. The violence that spread it throughout this country. Just for you to come here and talk about black on black crime. Oh, well, we're such a diverse people. We're educated. We're educated and stuff. Okay, if you're so educated again, then why not fix the problems and stuff where you come from? Why flee from them? Because you understand that those things and stuff, man, can't be fixed. That's the conclusion of the matter. Tradition, and family and culture is so strong. Then why leave it? That's my thing there and stuff. Because if these things mean something to me, man, I'm going to defend it. I'm going to fight for it in every inch of my life. If like I said, I am from America. I'm born here. I'm born here. I live here. I fight here, and I'll die here. I'm not leaving America. I'm not leaving America and stuff. So of course I'm going to defend it. I'm going to defend it with my very being. Not one time you're going to catch me up here talking about, man, I want to get away from this country. There are things and stuff that go on with it that I don't like, that I don't agree with and stuff, and I'm going to continue to fight to have those things and stuff removed in the country of my own and land of my own and place of my own, because here, this is where my culture is. I'm not leaving it. And if those things mean so much and stuff, right, then I say, why leave it? But you just leave it all. So I'm saying at the end of the day, what you're saying is the F word. You're saying the F word to your tradition, to your family, to your culture, to your land. And then you come here and stuff, you want to start over. You are a new creature. You a new creature. Because if those things meant so much to you and stuff, man, you would stay and defend it. No matter how bad things are. But you who immigrate, get into these political positions, educational positions, positions of economics, and you continue to perpetuate these same things that we were fighting against. I thought that we were supposed to have a commonality. I thought we were supposed to have an understanding. Those are the things and stuff that you say that you faced in your country, and yet when you come here, you still perpetrate the same things that you said that you was escaping. These militias and these cartels and these mafias and all these corrupt politicians and governments and laws and policies. These are the things and stuff that kept you from having a great quality of life in your land, and so you had to leave it just to come here and perpetrate being corrupt politicians and being in positions and pushing these corruptions and stuff in there. Talking about that we're lazy. We're lazy. We are lazy. We are sensitive. I don't think that any kind of righteous human being wakes up with murder on their mind. Wakes up and stuff, and I know definitely black people and stuff, man. We don't wake up with the ill intents of wanting to go out here and kill and murder one another. No sane human being and stuff, man, wakes up with those intentions, wanting to do these things and perpetrate these things against other groups of people. Certainly not black people. Now I understand and stuff that there are those that are lost amongst us and stuff. I mean, I'm not that doesn't it doesn't I'm not going to forget that and stuff, but I say again, that's not the complete and whole totality of black people that folks want to portray. That we're up here and stuff, we're all gang members and perpetrating violence and instituting violence and stuff and whatnot. But it seems like again, when we want to promote constructiveness, when we want to get up here and stuff and start creating businesses and stuff like that, not associating with anything else counterproductive. You got to be some some drug lord or some pimp or something like that. You have to be something negative in order to be something positive. Okay, again, I understand that, because when I look at the institutions of the world and stuff, I understand they came from something negative and turned it into something positive, again, if that's what you want to call it. But we're again looking at these institutions now, and you want to perpetrate the negativities of what the world and stuff, and project these on black people. When I say again and stuff, man, what institution can you look at and say that they came into fruition righteously? Not even your religious institutions, who say that, well, hey, your savior and your God and stuff sits above you and stuff. Even they came with the sword. Even they came with the sword and stuff and say, obey God or be hung by a tree. And it doesn't matter which God, it doesn't matter which version of God and stuff it is and stuff, is that again, these religious people that came with salvation and stuff tell you is that, okay, well, your judgment day is right here, right now. We're not going to be waiting on the deity or the God above and stuff to enact its judgment upon you and stuff for being a non-believer. Me as a believer and as a follower is going to enact God's judgment right here, right now, in real time. Seeing these things and stuff and knowing the fear and the taste of death, and the taste of death and the destruction that lays in wait of those who sit there and want to perpetrate this so-called better way of life upon people. What does it do to a person psychologically? And then you want to attack those and stuff who think outside of the box, who sit there and say, hey, wait a minute, hold up, how do you perpetrate us as the devil? How do you perpetrate us as devil? How do you perpetrate us as evil when we look into the origin of how things came into being and stuff, man? And it was nothing righteous. You didn't come up with an idea. You didn't come up with this friendly concept and stuff of saying of uniting all people and stuff for the commonwealth of good. Sitting in your corners and your dark places and stuff, man, forging sharp objects that can explode and stuff upon impact. These are the things that you create and stuff, and then you go over here amongst the masses of the people and choose few and stuff, man, that are out here that are different, that think things differently and do things a little differently, and say that, well, I'm going to make an example out of them to the rest of the world for any of you that step out of line. This is your origin of all things and how it came into fruition. There it is right there. It's no other way. It's no other way of saying it. That's what we are. That's what we are and stuff. And so, these are the things and stuff, man, that's on my mind constantly. These are the things and stuff that I'm over here toiling against and stuff. And I say that, well, you know what? I better just stick to what I know and stuff, right? Let me stick to this trucking thing and stuff. But that ain't it. I'm like, man, I'm always surrounded and I'm bombarded and stuff by people who want to perpetrate these evil iniquities and stuff upon me and talk, and not just me, but my people, and talk about that, well, okay, yeah, this thing that we're doing and stuff is a righteous thing. It's a godly thing. You put those two and two together, and you come up with the conclusion and stuff, man. This is the right way and stuff to go. This is the way that people should be. And if you're not that, then you're dumb and you're stupid and you're docile and you're inferior. Then you want to talk about racism, this evil, cruel, and wicked act and stuff, man, and talk about it's not illegal. Do you listen to yourselves? Do you listen to these conversations and stuff, man, and hear yourself out and say, how does that logically make sense? How does it logically make sense? If you want to be off to yourself, that's fine. If you have indifferences, again, that's fine, but that's not racism. That's not racism. Because you make up a few derogatory words and stuff against another group of people because of your indifferences or your superior or inferior, which is what it really is and stuff, complex that you have it inside of your mind. Oh, it's not illegal. Your sensitivities, because of your sensitivities, because of your psychological makeup and stuff that you got going on inside of your mind to say, okay, what makes me great or what's going to make me great is I go over here to another group of people. I go to another group of people and stuff and put them down and shame them. I'm superior. How? Because Mike makes right? You're superior how? Because I'm going to create something. I'm going to create something, and then I'm going to lock it out. I'm going to lock everybody else out and stuff from these same things and stuff because I have an inferiority complex. I don't want people to go out here and compete. We go into a competition or whatever where the rules are set on all sides and stuff upon all men, but I got to go over here and change the rules because those that are competing look like they're going to win. Understanding that most people that go into this thing of competition is just going into it simply for what it is. It's competition. It's not for any kind of bragging rights or one to say that, well, okay, I'm superior, inferior, whatever. Yeah, I won this and stuff, but if you want to learn how to be better and stuff, I don't have a problem in teaching you. It's competition after all, right? Nothing negative is gonna come out of it after all, right? Come on down here at the table and stuff like that. Okay, you may not be a skilled hunter, but I get your skills up so you can feed yourself better, so you can clothe yourself better, so you can work on your hygiene and stuff, man. So you can work on your mind skill and stuff like that, and not be stuck in this constant state of a question that you can't answer. Brother, you down, sister, you down and stuff, man. You ain't got to stay that way and stuff, man. Let me lift you up. Let me lift you up because after all and stuff, man, at the end of the day and stuff, we're all people, right? We're all looking for the same thing. We just want to be great. So how can I be great? The only way that I can be great and stuff when the greatest amongst us and stuff, man, can help the least amongst us. I'm gonna just leave you down here and stuff, man. I'm not only leave you down and stuff, but I'm gonna put a foot on your neck. I'm gonna put a foot on your neck and stuff because I'm superior and you're inferior. Nobody understands this concept more than black people. Make no mistake about it and stuff. So see, when you start to talk about the issues of racism, yes, that's a very sensitive subject because when I look at the world and stuff like that, it doesn't affect any other people and stuff, man, except black people. There are things and stuff that go. There's things that go on and stuff. And again, I totally understand that. But when you're talking about the issue of racism, yes, that's a very sensitive topic. That's a very sensitive subject. It's not something that you sit back and you take lightly, especially from those and stuff who don't understand it. You don't just throw that word around and stuff and say that, well, okay, well, we shouldn't be so sensitive about it. We shouldn't be so bothered by it. We shouldn't be so triggered by it and stuff, man, when we understand the true histories, the histories that people don't want to talk about. We're in 2024. The deniers, this is what they say. We're in 2024, but they're still enacting the violences of 1964, 1944, and 1804. Still enacting these violence against people who only wish you well. We're not about world domination, we're about world unification. And I guess that's what scares people and stuff the most is that the true path to peace, the true path to world peace lies in the hearts and the minds of black people. And that's the information that they want to conceal. That's the information that they want to censor. That's the information that they don't want to get out. They always been afraid of it. They always have and they always will and say, who is this they that he speak of? The racists. The racists and those who perpetrate racism. Them. Is racism illegal? It's racism. It is racism. It isn't illegal. Racism it isn't illegal. There's a lot of things in this world and stuff, man, that's not illegal. But I mean, I imagine if you sit there and you do it and stuff like that, there has to come a question: why are you doing it? Why? It's not illegal. It's not illegal. But again, why do you do it? What's the logic behind it? Oh, because it's not illegal. Okay, all right, cool. There were laws once upon a time on the books that were that weren't illegal once upon a time and stuff, but they're legal now. I mean, there were things that were legal that are illegal now. And with us having working brains and stuff, right, we just don't sit back and say, man, what's the logic behind this and stuff. But again, as black people and stuff, man, we're in a position where we don't have power. So we can't really have those we can't have those conversations amongst ourselves. But I mean, when a system has been put in place and stuff, man, that grants power, it grants power and stuff, to other groups of people. I mean, yeah, of course you're not going to have that conversation and stuff. I mean, don't need to have it. You don't need to have it because it's a system that benefits you and stuff, but it benefits you in such a way that it ultimately is going to lead to the very thing that you fear. You got to wake up every single day and say, oh man, it's today today? It's the day today and stuff is going to jump off? You know, how long can you sit there and do something to a person that you know is oppressive? You know it's oppressive by nature. How long can you continue to do this and stuff, man, before these people sit there and give you the righteous answer It gives you the righteous answer to these oppressions that you perpetrate upon people. How long you think you got when you don't even have to do that? Living in fear every single day of your life and stuff, where you have to create vices and stuff that can destroy the world with the push of a button. This is what one does with the mind. This is what one does with a mind, a working mind and stuff, right? You take your ability to go over here and to answer equations and stuff of, to answer the formulas of the world that could move things in a more constructive direction and stuff, and say that, well, no, the need is for us to create weapons of mass destruction and use that as the ultimate fail-safe and stuff when people are just fed up with the violence, when they're fed up with the tyranny and the destruction. We got this fail-safe and stuff, man, which we intend to unleash upon the world. We unleash it upon the world and stuff, and we give it a code name, MAD. MAD. This is the word that they give for the ultimate destruction of the world. MAD. Mutual assured destruction. You see how this small little minute thing and stuff that people talk about that we shouldn't be concerning ourselves with and stuff like that turned into a 42 minute dissertation. Not one time did I use a break. Not one time did I go up here and use profanity or use the N word or said anything that was derogatory or wishing derogatory upon any particular peoples. But I'm saying that one conversation right there, that one word led to this dissertation right here and takes a person outside of their element that says that, well, maybe you should just control yourself and contain yourself because these things that you're talking about, racism, is important because racism isn't illegal. And the sad part about this is that I'm really holding myself back. I'm really holding myself back. But what kind of conversation do you want to have with a person that has that type of mindset right there and stuff to say racism isn't illegal? What justifications do you have? Because again, I listened to your 25-minute dissertation, and again, I heard you say a lot of things, but one thing that I didn't hear from you was an example of racism, which means that you're clearly confused about you're clearly confused, or you're just playing dumb. It's those two things right there and stuff. And so, racism has always have been centered around power. So when they talk about reverse racism or black people being racist, we can't be racist by definition because they have to have power and stuff with that. But the very things that they perpetrate us of what or what we're trying to be and stuff is something in their own mind, right? That they think's going to happen when we're not even thinking about that. Nobody's thinking about trying to gather up some people and stuff, man, to get free labor off of them, put you in some kind of field, put you in some kind of condition where you're separated from your family or whatever, all to simply to line up my pockets and get rich, sit in some build some big house and stuff and then have some small house and stuff and have you going in here cleaning my bed or warming up my, cleaning my bedroom in my house and stuff and warming up my bed. Nobody's thinking about that. Nobody got time for that. Except the racists. Except those and stuff that say that, well, hey, racism is illegal. They're thinking about it on a constant, consistent basis. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I am preparing the table. In fact, the table is already prepared. It's that if you want to sit there and you want to have this real conversation and stuff about these issues and stuff, I'm more than open to it. Hey, I mean, you know what? We're not. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's business. If you want to talk about business, yeah, by all means. I'm not talking about somebody just yammering away and stuff like that. I mean, you really want to talk about the business of the matter and stuff, then hey, that's the first thing right there. Understand the word of what you're talking about, racism. If you don't know what it is and stuff, then I mean, familiarize yourself with it. Look it up. Get the definitions of it. And don't play dumb. Okay? Don't play dumb. Use it as a way and stuff, man, to try to get someone attention. Well, hey, you got it. Because things aren't working out for you and stuff the way that you planned. Okay, so well, let me go into this racism thing and go over here and start calling black folk a bunch of N words and stuff like that. Then turn around and apologize and say, okay, well, yeah, I was just inebriated. I was all thinking outside my head, I was all high and stuff like that. No, it's just what you are. It's just what you are and stuff. And so you released it and stuff again, which is that's okay if that's the way you feel about it and stuff. But again, why come, if that's the way you feel about it and stuff, I say, why not stay amongst your own and be amongst your own and build amongst your own? It's never that. You got to be around the very people that you hate and despise and, you know, talk about them and stuff and how bad things are over there and stuff and how good things are over here, which I can't see because every time there's an explanation of it, it's by some person that's just going down in flames. Okay, yeah, I'm a failure now and stuff, right? People done found me out, so I might as well just on out here and stuff and just say N-word all the way down. Why is your empire and stuff, man, it's just failing now? Oh, it's because of black people. Yeah, it's because of black people and stuff. Black people didn't have nothing to do with your spending habits, your money management habits. Nobody, black people didn't have no problem. We weren't in that. Your finance stuff, your abilities to go out here and make yourself great. We didn't have anything to do with that. That was you that made that decision to go over there and do these drugs and stuff like that again that didn't come from black hands but your own because you say that well your brain is you have a superior brain, you have a high IQ, right? You come from a greater institution of learning, but yet that brain didn't tell you and stuff to say, well, hey, you know what, this thing that I'm about to ingest into my body, you know we done seen plenty of results and stuff for this and it never works out well and stuff for people. I never seen a person go over here and ingest these drugs and these paraphernalias into one's body and say, well, I'm perfectly fine with it. They came out smelling like a rose. Let me take a few minutes and stuff, man, to see exactly what is inside these things, inside these things that I'm about to ingest into my body. That at the same time and stuff, I put the blame and the onus on black people because of what they're doing and stuff. These things represent something bad and negative. Why do you feed these to your people? Why do you do it to yourself? Hey, what's going on? I will. Why do you do it to yourself? talk about destruction or whatever and stuff, and then you bring these things upon yourself and say, well, hey, you didn't need no help and stuff with that, but oh well, I just blame black people for it. That didn't have nothing to do with it. Actually, it was your black friend, it was your black friends, your black buddies and stuff, man, that was trying to tell you, hey man, what the heck you doing? You don't need to be doing that. What's the matter with you? It was your black friends and stuff that was giving you positivity and giving you affirmation, both then and now. Because after everything is all said and done and stuff, right, and the world done cast you to the side, you can walk right down there to any black neighborhood and stuff, and they'll go on and open up the door and get you cleaned up and get you back on your feet. Yeah, I understand what you did was wrong and stuff like that, but you know what though? Yeah, we forgive you. We forgive you. We forgive. Always finding the humanitarianism in every single thing, in every single destructive thing. We'll always find the humanity in it. But one of these days, we're going to take all these things, all this stuff, and start to uplift ourselves first. And the door's going to be closed. The phones are going to be off. The social medias are going to be cut off and stuff, man. And we're saying that we're going to fix ourselves first because, in the words of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, he said, only then, once we are acceptable to ourselves, can we be acceptable to each other in the world. That's our problem, man. If we have a problem and stuff like that, if it's one excerpt in the Bible that I believe and stuff is said, man, it's what that Bible says and stuff is that he who does for others, he who does for others and forsake himself, particularly that of his own house, denies the faith and is worse than the infidel. If they want to talk about a curse and stuff, then man, that's definitely a curse and stuff right there that I can concur. Cause man, when it comes to other people, we come to their aid, 100% completely on point. But when it comes to each other, we gotta take a back seat. So yeah, this table that I prepared and stuff, right? It's one that I'm preparing this table in the midst of my enemies. But I don't have to remind my friends and stuff that they have a table, that they have a seat at the table and stuff they already know. They was there and stuff, man, from its inception of the fact that I was going to create such a thing. But yeah, the enemies are going to be there too. But if the question has to be asked and stuff is that, is it something that you want to be educated on and stuff? Because if so, that's fine. But if not, why keep yammering on about it? If you're a racist, if you're saying racism is illegal and stuff, okay. But the thing and the creed that you believe in and stuff like that, I mean, why don't you follow it? Go amongst your people and be great. Create these institutions and infrastructures and stuff, right? But at the same time, I mean, you don't have to, you certainly don't have to be around us. You don't have to be around us. You don't have to, You don't have to prove anything to us and stuff, go amongst your own and be great. How come that it never works and stuff that way though? No, I got to go over here and stuff, and I got to prove to other people and stuff just how, in order for me to be superior and stuff, I got to let you know how inferior you are. It's not based upon things that you look at and stuff and say like, "Ooh, wow, you know what? That's something superior. That's something superior right there." Hmm. I mean, people can look at it and it can certain. I mean, they can certainly be impressed by it and say, "Well, you know what? Let me see if I can do that for myself. Let me see if I can create something and stuff and see if I can, make it more efficient. Create my own version of it. Compare it and stuff. And just have notes. But no, I'm a creator and anybody else and stuff, man, that goes out there and even thinks about doing such a thing and stuff, we're gonna shut that on down because I'm superior and you're inferior. Well, look, fam, I got 56 minutes in and stuff like that. I'm sorry, it's just that particular thing and stuff bothered me. So, everything's okay as you can see. I'm still in my truck. I'm still tractor trailing and stuff like that. But I ain't posting up as much because I ain't got my equipment the way I want to. So, I'm still steady working on that. No, ain't no side effects to that and stuff, man. I mean, yeah, you know what? Now I think, yeah, that's an excuse that they use too. I forgot about that. Yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, fam, I'm gonna jump on off here and stuff. This your man right here, Rhode Island Red Rooster. Telling you as always, continue to do your own research, fact finding studies. Honest on your skills every day. Till next time we talk, next time we meet. Be safe, be easy. Peace out.